nó chọt để cái thằng bán đập năm đó à vào đây thọt đấy
thọt đấy
này cô lôi chụp trên anh bay quan rồi lá có đạch tua tiếp sau là chân cọ cây son dài chứ tôi cho 5 ngày thì đập ram hàng vào đó chân mở phật cái đấy nhưng tôi tạm vào mơ lôi ấy
nó chả phần ở đây nó xài
lôi màu gì tao ra bắt rồi bay đấy tao để đai màu
còn đây tao đấy mẹ
đó cái tiếng Anh kho đó đang kho đó đào cho nó đấy mọc dài thật lấy
Good morning, everyone. So in the beginning of the video, I showed you guys a clip of the contractor who was contracted to build a house. And yeah, he was a pretty sneaky guy, but between me and my wife, we had to always stay one step ahead of him. And I want to tell you guys about the things that we had to go through while we were building this house. So if you look around me, this is our house here. This is the bottom floor. The whole house is 7 meters wide by 9 meters long. And there's 3 bathrooms. I mean, not 3 bathrooms, 3 bedrooms, 1 downstairs and 2 upstairs. So I'm downstairs in the living room right now. And then we also have our kitchen. This is our kitchen. It's simple, you know, nothing fancy. Countryside kitchen, you know. Then we have our bathroom here. And this, my wife is the one who designed it, but it's okay, it works. So, wanted to talk about how, what we had to go through when we were building this house, right? So, to talk about that, I have to go into the year that we started building. So that year was February of 2020. And the reason why we had to start building is because my wife had some issues with her auntie. For me to go into that, I'll have to go into the details of how we got married. So my wife and I, we met in 2018, and she was already like 38, 39. And for her, she holds a conservative view of marriage. So she never had a boyfriend, never had like any relationships with anybody. And the only person that she looked forward to being with is her husband. And she never really was interested in anyone. There have been people who came to ask her, you know, like for her hand to marry, but she wasn't interested, so she always turned everybody down. And then for some reason, when I came by, she was interested and she said yes. And so in 2019, we got married. And at the time, she was living with her auntie, and her auntie, I don't know, for some reason, she's old, single, never got married. Expected my wife to do the same thing, to just be single and never get married. But when my wife decided that she was going to get married, her auntie was furious. She tried to do whatever she can to break us up to not get married, but we got married anyways. And once we got married, she was trying to figure out how to get rid of my wife. So what she did was she kicked my wife out. And when she kicked her out, she gave my wife half of the land that they've been living together on. And she told my wife, well, you have 3 months to move out. And my wife was like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And she didn't want to tell me, she didn't want to let me know that that happened, but she had to. And so when she did, I was like, you know what? I have some land over here right down the street from where she lived, you know? And at the time I was working in Phnom Penh as a teacher. So everything happened so fast, you know, like we got married, she got kicked out, and then we had to figure out how to start our own lives together. So I was like, you know what? I have land right here. It's a big piece of land, 20 meters by 100, and it's in the same neighborhood as where she lives. And so we're like, okay, we're gonna build. And so we were bent on time. We had to figure out, you know, like how we're gonna build, which contractor to use, which is something that neither of us had any experience in. And so my wife was here. I was in Phnom Penh. She just rode around looking for, you know, people who had experience in building houses, and she knows a lot of people. So she came into one of her customers' land and saw that there was a house being built. And so she asked the guy, like, who's building this? And the guy was like, my son-in-law. And my wife was like, oh, really? And she kind of liked the design. And so she was like, can I meet him? And then she met him, and she asked the guy, like, I need you to build a house for me. And what's the price, you know? And so this guy, when he spoke to my wife, he was like, you know, I can do, you know, low price and get you the most out of your money, you know? And my wife, she was like, that sounds good, you know? And he was like, I'll do all the work, and within 3 months, you'll have a house to live in. And so we were bent on time, and she asked me too, it was like, do you think we should take this guy? And he's like, he can do it for a fair price. And we were like, sure, let's go. And so we started negotiating with him about size and price, and everything was always, you know, he can do it. He said he could do it, you know. And so we were like, okay, we're gonna go with him. And once we decided to use him, people started hearing about it. Like, the village is small, so they people, you know, word gets around easily. So there's some people that's really close to my wife who heard about it, and they're like, that guy has a bad reputation, you know. And so they told my wife to be careful with him. And we were like, man, we have no time, we have to move forward, you know. And so rumor is that he built 2 houses separately, and he never finished them. He would tell them that he could do it for cheap, and so he would take the job and take the money, and when the money ran out, he would disappear, leaving the house undone. But the house owner would have no money left, and he did that 2 times. And so we were like, this guy is you know, untrustworthy. But my wife, she's a businesswoman first, and she likes to take risks, I can say. And so she was like, you know what, I think I can work with him, so let's work with him, you know. And I was like, but it's dangerous, you know. And she was like, it's okay. And she called him, you know, and we spoke with him, and we're like, there's like a really bad rumor about you going around saying that you never finish the job and you always take off. And he denied it. He was like, you know, I don't know why people would say that about me. And so we were like, you know what, my wife, she's well known around here because she's a vet, and so people, they all know her. And she was like, you know what, this is your chance. She told to the contractor, this is your chance to fix your name, change your reputation, and rebuild yourself. I want you to build my house for me and do a good job and clear your name. And the guy, he was like, okay, I agree, I'll do it, And so my wife, she was like, okay, this is the price that you're going to build for us, and you're going to complete the house for me. And so he said, yes, okay. And, we would give him cash in increments, like different parts, like laying down the foundation, putting up the pillars and everything, the bricks, we would give him like 5,000, 3,000 here and there, and yeah, he was doing a good job. We saw within the first few months the house was getting built quick, and so we were like, wow, this guy's doing a good job. And yeah, I don't know, you guys can guess for yourself the price of the house. You can guess in the comments, and then I'll let you guys know afterwards. What do you think the price of the house should be? And I'll let you know what we got out of it. And so he was building and building and building. After like 3 months, right? Like the first 3 months, everything was just fast. Then all of a sudden, the workers, they didn't show up. There would be like 5 workers who would come, and then after 3 months, there would be like 1 or 2. And we were wondering why. Why is everybody like disappearing? And then the workers told us that he's not paying them. And we were like, what? And when we tried to ask him to find out what happened, he said that he ran out of money. And that video I showed you guys in the beginning is us giving him the rest of the money for him to finish the job. And at that time, we still needed the roof. We still needed the ceiling panels and the lights and the electricity. There was still a lot of stuff that needed to be done. And so he tried to ask us for more money. And we were like, hell no. We gave you everything that we negotiated already. And now you can't finish the job. And so he said he needed more money. So when he said that he needed more money, I was furious. I was so angry. And I wanted to strangle him so badly. Because we agreed on a certain price already. And then when the job is almost finished, he tells us that he can't do it. And he needs more money. And we were like, nope, you're not getting any more money. And so for us to get the job finished, we hired his workers and we paid them daily in hand. And whatever he owed them, that's on him. We don't know. So we kept all his tools and everything, all his construction material, all his everything that he had to use. We used it, and we did not let him come to the house anymore. And I went and bought the material myself. And the workers, they just wanted to get paid. They don't care whatever job they had to do. They just want to get paid daily, and they enjoyed it, getting paid daily for their work. Not like him, he owed them for like weeks, and he never paid them. But then with us, we paid them every day, and they were happy with that. And so there was like 3 or 4 that came every single day, and then there was one guy who stayed with us the whole time until the job was finished. And yeah, the reason why we finished the job is because we used all his tools and his workers, and we got the job done. And on top of that, once we did that, we were able to get the total price of completing the house was actually lower than what we agreed with him on. And at the end of the whole thing, he ended up owing us money. And every time we handed him money or did anything with him, we recorded it, and we made them. So here in Cambodia, your thumbprint is like your signature. So if you agree to something on a contract, you have to use your thumbprint. And we have all the evidence that we need that he did agree on certain things and that he did take our money. And we had every single piece of evidence to prove him otherwise. Yeah, and so you guys can comment on whatever you think the price of the house is, and then I'll let you guys know at the end. So yeah, this guy thought he was gonna scam us, but we got him instead, and he's paying us in the end. All right, guys. See you guys later.